All right, we're here today to show you how to program the Easy Dial timer. Before I start, I'll mention that this timer comes in both 4 and 6 stations, and then we also sell it. It comes in a different color in green, and there's actually one that has a square bottom rather than this shroud that has the cable output hole. But the actual functionality and programming of these is exactly the same. So as we run through this, it's applicable to your timer, whether it's a 4 or 6 station, whether it's green or gray, whatever. So I've got the date and time set, and I'm going to go ahead and get started programming this. In this example, we're going to have 4 zones. Zones 1, 2, and 4 are going to be sections of lawn, and then zone 3 is going to be a drip zone. So the way that I'll program this is zones 1, 2, and 4 will be on program A, and zone 3 will be on program B. So this timer, starting with program A, we start with our start times, and this is when it will start watering. Each start time will run through all the zones for the allotted amount of time. So to skip a zone, I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But our first start time, we're going to put at 12 a.m., so in the middle of the night, should be pretty good. And then we're going to do a second start time for the lawn, and we're going to do that at, let's say, 2 a.m., which gives enough time for the water to actually saturate the lawn and sink in between the first and second waterings. So we'll go up to 2 a.m., hit enter. All right, next thing we need to do is set our run time. So how much do we want each station to run for? So station 1, we want that to run for 5 minutes. Station 2, we'll do that for 5 minutes as well. Station 3, you'll remember, we're not going to water on program A, so we're going to skip that. Just hit enter. And then station 4, we're going to run that one for 10 minutes actually. All right, so now we've got stations 1, 2, and 4 running on program A. Station 3 is being skipped because that's a drip zone. We're going to set that up on a separate program. And then we need to dictate how often. Now with this timer, you can set certain days of the week you want it to water. So if you have watering restrictions and you're only allowed to water on specific days of the week, you can set that. You can set it for either odd days only or even days only, or you can actually set it for an interval, which is what we're going to do here. So this one, we want the lawn to be watered every 3rd day, once every 3 days. So I'll hit enter. So we're all set up on program A, and we've got that ready to go. The lawn's going to be watered in those time periods. Now let's move on to program B, and I'll hit this thing down here to move that to program B. And we're going to have that start at 1 a.m. between the two watering times for the lawn. So I move this up to 1 a.m., hit enter. It's only going to have 1 run time per day per schedule. Now you remember on program B, we only want zone 3 to run, so I'm going to cycle through, leaving zone 1 and 2 blank, and I'll get to zone 3. And because this is a drip zone, we're actually going to water that for 20 minutes. And then zone 4, we're going to leave that blank as well. And then how often? Well, this one needs to go every day. Oh, whoops, I did that wrong. Program A is every 3rd day. You switch over to program B and move the interval to every 1 day. So that's going to water every single day for that drip zone. So to recap what we have, we've got zones 1, 2, and 4, which are lawn, running every 3rd day, and they run at both 1 a.m. and at 2 a.m. And then zone 3 is running on program B, that's a drip zone, and it's running every single day at 1 a.m. All right, a few other features we'll tell you about with this timer. You'll notice the clock is flashing back and forth between a couple times. The first will be the current time, which is 11:32. The next is the next scheduled start time, which is going to be program B, which is a drip zone at 1 a.m. How to set a rain delay. So the way you do that is just by clicking the rain delay button, and then you have the option of 24, 48, or 72 hours, so 1 to 3 days. So let's say we see rain forecast for the next couple days, and we hit that. So it's going to flash back and forth between the current time and how much time is left in the delay. And while that delay is running, no watering will take place. All scheduled programs will be suspended. If I look at the forecast and see that rain actually didn't come as we planned on, I can just hit the clear button, and that will delete the delay, and continue to water as scheduled. And then finally is the manual button. That allows you to run a manual program. So let's say that I took a look at zone 2 and I noticed it was looking a little dry and wanted to give that some extra water. I could do that by hitting manual, and it's going to let me cycle through. I can decide to water all of program A, all of program B, or I can go to individual stations. So let's go to zone 2 and say I need an extra 10 minutes. Hit enter there, and now it's going to cycle between the current time and how much is left on the watering, and it will start watering immediately. Once that's finished, it will resume watering as it's planned to. So that's how you set up and program the Easy Dial timer. If you have any questions about this video or this product, let us know in the comments below, and we'd be happy to answer those. Thank you.